Let's look at the review process, at the different types of review later, but the reviews documents such as user requirements, functional specifications, and technical specifications are usually incremental. The first review will usually raise some questions and issues, points of clarification as to how a particular requirement will be tested. Or it could be an inconsistency in naming, say, a customer or a client. This will need to be resolved and the document re-reviewed. It may also be the case that all issues cannot be resolved at once. One issue may need to be resolved before others can be addressed. Or having resolved one issue, this in turn raises further issues. Reviews are therefore an iterative process. The different types of reviews vary from informal, characterized by no written instructions to reviewers, to systematic, characterized by including team participation, document results of the review, and even the procedures for conducting the review. The formality is related to the maturity of the development process. The more mature the process is, the more formal reviews tend to be, any legal or regulatory requirements, and the need for an audit trail, a formal review process that ensures that it's possible to trace backwards throughout the software development life cycle. If a formal development process is not followed, then it may be difficult to introduce a formal review process. Work products may not be consistently produced from project to project. Therefore, we cannot always state, for instance, reviews will be carried out on functional specifications, especially when there aren't functional specifications. Some reviews are more formal than others. If reviews have not been carried out in an organization before, it may not be sensible to introduce the most formal review type, which are inspections. There may be legal or regulatory requirements that consider certain types of reviews to be carried out on certain products. For example, standards relating to safety-critical software may deem it mandatory to carry out code inspections. As we will see later, different reviews can have different objectives. For example, to find defects, to gain understanding, to educate testers and new team members, to discuss and reach decisions by consensus. This iterative process is composed of several activities for a formal review. So, it is extremely important that time is taken to plan the review, who is going to be involved, when it's going to take place, that everything required to carry out the review, source documents, reference documents, for example, is available, and that participants are allocated sufficient time to carry out the activities assigned to them. Then, a kickoff is likely to take place to ensure that everybody involved in the review process understands what are the roles and responsibilities. Different roles can be assigned to participants in order to give the review process more focus. They look for certain aspects of a review item, for example, ensuring that everything contained in the review item correctly reflects what is the source document. Once roles and responsibilities have been assigned, individual preparation can start. Roles are allocated to individuals where they check the review item against company standards or check that the document can be used as a source for the next activities. This could be preparing an acceptance test plan for the user requirements document or even creating test cases from the same document. The review meeting needs to be managed, time-boxed, and organized. The person leading the review must make sure that there is not too much time spent on one topic to the detriment of others, and that the meeting is not dominated by a few people. Everyone must have an equal opportunity to speak. The person leading the review must also ensure that the meeting does not become unruly. Lots of people talking at the same time about different things, and the focus is kept on the review item. At the meeting, someone should be given responsibility for taking the minutes of the meeting and documenting any remedial actions and any follow-up activities. further meetings, formal sign-off. A report of the review meeting should be produced and distributed. It is the author's responsibility to carry out any changes required of the review item. It is all participants' responsibility to suggest any process improvements to the review activity itself and the structure of the review item. The role of each reviewer is to look at documents belonging to them from their assigned perspective. In addition to these assigned review roles, the review process itself defines specific roles and responsibilities that should be fulfilled for formal reviews. Roles and responsibilities. While a manager may not attend reviews, it is their obligation to support for the whole review process because it is crucial for the success. The manager has a responsibility to ensure that time allocated in the overall project plan for the review exercises is enough. They will only attend the review meeting if they have a role to play. For example, they may attend as a reviewer. ISTQB defines another role, moderator, as the leader and main person responsible for an inspection of or other review process. So the idea is that he plans the review, runs the review meeting, and follows up after the meeting. The moderator manages inspections and other review process. They fully understand the process and ensure that it is followed. He may be required to classify problems and give guidance as to compliance with standards. If the moderator does not control the review process, for example, inviting the correct people, it will be prone to that the whole review process could easily fail. So often, the person upon the success of the review rests is the moderator. It is the author's responsibility to prepare the document for review. They may be required to attend the review, but this may not always be the case. The author must make the agreed changes to the document and must issue it for re-review when necessary. Another role is the scribe, and the scribe's responsibility is to document the review meeting and ensure that all problems are clearly identified and allocated to the appropriate person. In some instances, the scribe can also be the author of the work product under review. Reviewers are individuals with a specific technical or business background. They identify and describe findings, defects, in the product under review. They should be chosen to represent different perspectives and roles in the review process. And they are also known as checkers or inspectors. Usually, there's a checklist based on each of these particular perspectives and other perspectives from the application or system under test point of view, such as a user, a maintainer, a tester, or operations, and more general checklists, such as a typical requirements problem, that may be used to allow an improved version to identify defects.